Check, check, check. Check, check, test. Good evening and welcome. It's good to see everybody here. It's really exciting. We're going to have some beautiful music tonight and looking forward to a talk from Ted Hibbeler about the native ways of relating to the earth. But first we're going to begin with a blessing from Peter Mullen.
All right, so this comes from our Jewish tradition, but is, I think, completely appropriate for this evening. May the one whose spirit is with us in every righteous deed be with all who work for the good of humanity and bear the burdens of others, and who give bread to the hungry, who clothe the naked, and take the friendless into their homes. May the work of their hands endure, and may the seed they sow bring abundant harvest. Also, given where we are in the calendar and what's coming up, it's, I think, important that we begin right here by acknowledging that the Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light Office, the Hub Cafe, and in fact, all of our homes are located on the past, present, and future homelands of the Pawnee, Ponca, Oto, Missouri, Omaha, Dakota, Lakota, Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Kaw peoples, as well as the relocated Ho-Chunk, Iowa, and Sac and Fox peoples. Please just take a moment to consider the legacy of more than 150 years of displacement, violence, forced settlement, and survival that bring us here together today. At Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light, we respect and try to seek out inclusion of differences, realizing that we can all learn from each other, and we look forward to building long-lasting relationships with all of you and with the Indigenous peoples of Nebraska. Thank you. Over to Ken.
Thank you, Peter. And I wanted to just say a few things, a few words. We have a few pieces of paper that we've laid out on the table that describe some of the activities that Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light's engaged in, some of our recent accomplishments, some of our plans for the future. If you want any of that information, feel free to pick that up. And on other occasions, I would talk about that, but there's a lot of things that are going to be happening today. We have some wonderful music that I want to get to, which I think is more important. I do want to start by acknowledging our sponsors, Reverend Penny Greer, Rich Lombardi, Lowell, and Senator Patty Pansing Brooks, Dan Deffenbach, Mark Fates, Peter Mullen, Christine Palmer, Dan Parsons, Rich and Susan Rodenburg, and some guy named Ken Winston. Without further ado, I'm just going to turn it over to the Wildwoods. I don't really think they need an introduction. They're tremendous musicians. They write great music, and they perform it even more beautifully. The Wildwoods.
Thank you, Ken. Well, thank you so much for having us out today, Ken, for the 432nd annual Interfaith Power and Light event. 432 years of this. Incredible. I love it. Like my own man, yeah, I'm the son of the earth. When my mother calls like the song of a bird, I'm the first to harmonize, and I'm the first to realize I could have never been born And now by some small chance in the palm of her hands, I've risen through the storm. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. But am I just too young? I don't know. Like my old man, I will remember my roots. I will continue to grow on the land that I serve, among the flowers and trees, floating along the gentle breeze. I hold my hand up to my ear and fight through every fear I may face. She's helping me in every race. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. But am I just too young? I don't know. Forgive my innocence of what I've said and done. It may just be where I come from that taught me how to live as one. But am I just too young and dumb? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you so much. So this next song we're going to play is a new original song. All of these that we're playing tonight are new original songs. Some of them newer than the others, but this one is called Dirty Little Cigarettes. And it's about Noah. When he's had a few too many PBRs, he likes to indulge in some social cigarette action. Listen. Chloe's getting me in trouble. This is
true.
They're gross.
Yeah.
But after I've had half a PBR, I'm like, oh, no, I'm kidding. No, cigarettes are bad. Don't indulge.
So I always call them dirty little cigarettes whenever he does that. So that's what this song is about.
It's not what actually the song was about. A couple weeks ago, we came home from a wedding. We drove like 11 hours
And after we got home, Chloe straight away went to bed, and I just kind of laid on our living room couch, turned on some Sopranos, just wanted to, decompress. After like an hour, Chloe came out of the bedroom, stomped her feet. It's like, hey, be honest. Do you still love me? I'm like, what are you talking about? Just go back to bed. She's like, I'm serious. I need to know. I got here, I went to bed, and now you're just ignoring me. So that's what this song is actually about.
He does still love me. That's the consensus, I think, at least.
Thank you, I do.
All right, here's Dirty Little Cigarettes. If you knew that I still loved you, would you take me by the hand?
Let me ride around the soothing song and play it on your baby grave.
If I open up to you and send trouble through your mind, won't you kick me to the curb and I'll be brushing off my only eye? I don't know if I can ever live without you, boy. Take me by the hand and ask me why. And if I do die, when I'm old and far too weak to push and move alone, you'll be the only one for my days. If I ever catch you smoking, splash some water in your face.
All those dirty little cigarettes don't mean a thing to me anyway.
If a friend belittles you, I'll throw them to the ground, and I'll kick them in their stupid face and let them know never come around. I don't know if I can ever live without you, boy. Take me by the hand and ask me why. And if I do die, when I'm old and far too weak to push and move along, you'll be the only one for one day. Take me by the hand and ask me why. And if I do die, when I'm old and far too weak to push and move along, you'll be the only one for one. There'll never be another one. You'll be the only one for the one that's in any universe. You'll be the only one for the one dance.
All right. So this next song is called 13 Sailboats, and we wrote it while we were on tour this summer. We got back a little over a month ago from being on the road for about 3 months, just Chloe and I in this little RV, and so much fun. Can't wait to do it again. We wrote lots of tunes while we were out there, and we wrote this song at a house that we stayed at in Tybee Island, Georgia, because we have some friends and parents that live there. And yeah, anyway, this one's called 13 Sailboats.
Sailboats passing me by, and a young timid sailor was I would sleep on the shore, dream of something more of my life, and all of the open doors I had. Virginia, caught on a hook like a runaway train. She runs free, spreading like wildfire, tarnished by rain, like a Renaissance painting. She hangs on the walls of the tree. Nothing is at all as it seems. Holding your hands in the candlelight, slipping away from your gentle light. Soft hallucinations of your silhouette on pages of my story, tracing out your face, and I can see my own reflections in the drawing. Nothing is at all as it seems. Holding your hands in the candlelight, slipping away from your gentle light. Soft hallucinations of your silhouette on pages of my story, tracing out your face, and I can see my own reflections in the drawing. 13 sailboats passing me by, and he old timid sailors I would sleep on the shore, dream of something more of my life, and all of the open doors I have denied.
Mike, do we have time for one or two more? What do you think? Okay. All right, I think we're going to do a Jackson 5 tune for you. Always fun.
When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. All those silly faces always make you stand out in the crowd. And then someone picked you from their bus when life was all that you took. And now it's much too late for me to take a second look. Oh, darling, give me one more chance to show you that I love you. Oh, you please let me back in your heart. Oh, darling, I was blind to let you go, babe. But now, since I've seen you in his arms, I want you, baby. night.
So let me show you, girl, that I know wrong from right.
Every street you walk on, I leave tear stains on the ground.
Following the girl I didn't even want to ride.
Oh,
Darling, give me one more chance
to show you that I love you.
Oh, you please let me back in your heart.
Oh,
Darling, I was blind to let you go, babe. But now, since I've seen you in his arms, I want you, babe.
oh,
Darling, give me one more chance
to show you that I love you.
Oh, you please let me back in your heart.
Oh,
Darling, I was blind to let you go,
babe.
but now since I've seen it in his arms, I want you back. See that fiddle?
Oh,
Darling, give me one more chance.
to show you that I love you.
Oh, you please let me back in your heart.
Oh,
Darling, I was blind to let you go,
babe.
but now since I've seen you in his arms, I want you back. Have we used up all of our 20 minutes? We have time for one quick one? All right. Thought of romance, double speed. All right. Well, this is our last song. Thank you so much, Ken, for having us out. Up next, we got Jack Rodenburg, our good friend neighbor. Oh, Bottle Tops are next. Sorry. The Bottle Tops are next. Jack wanted to be the finale, so that's what he'll be doing.
Walking in Paris, France, holding hands, laughing about love and the thought of romance. Talking about civil wars, crooked doors as it was down on our heads, left in ruins. Oh, there's another spirit entwined on innocence. It brought tears to their eyes. Show me what love is, and goodwill shall come. The message to which we've been known has come undone. Oh, oh, oh.
her and me, whispering dreams and a future of bliss. From her tongue and lips, like mortar between bricks, she took a breath, and I lived again. On lips another spirit entwined, our innocence and brought tears to their eyes. Show me what love is, and goodwill shall come, the message to which we've been known has come undone. Walking in Paris, France,
Holding hands, laughing about love and the thought of romance.
Thanks so much, everybody. We are the Wildwood. Thanks, Ken, for having us out. Up next, we got the Bottle Tops. Huge thanks to Michelle for sitting in with us today on cello. And here's Ken.
Thank you so much. Is the mic live? Thank you so much. Well, first of all, actually, we're going to have a couple of presentations before we go to the Bottle Tops. But how about another hand for the Wildwoods and Michelle Farber? We've got world-class musicians here tonight providing us with entertainment. And this is, I'm just so pleased to have them share their talents with us. This event is a fundraiser. If you have the means, please make a contribution. Sarah's waving her hands over there. You can make a contribution of cash or check, or she can hook you up with our website. And also we have plants that Nancy provided. And if you want to make a donation, you can get a free plant. For a $10 donation, you get a plant. So I guess that's not free, but anyway. Well, you know. We also have food, ratatouille and bison stew. So help yourselves. And there's drinks that are available at the bar. Let me just do a quick round of thank yous to our sponsors: Reverend Penny Greer, Rich Lombardi, Lowell and Senator Patty Pansing Brooks, Dan Deffenbaugh, Mark Fates, Peter Mullen, Christine Palmer, Dan Parsons, Rich and Susan Rodenburg, and Ken Winston. So thanks so much for everybody. And now we're going to have a brief presentation from Reverend Penny Greer. She's going to talk about extreme weather events and how they're related to climate change. So Penny's up now. And following that, we'll have a presentation from Ted Hibbeler, who's a Native educator.
It's great to be together tonight. I'm so pleased that so many of you wanted to come to be in person. I'm Reverend Penny Greer, a retired United Church of Christ pastor, and I'm president of the board here in Nebraska of Interfaith Power and Light. When I was in seminary, about the time the dinosaurs were on the earth, close, I was attending Union Theological Seminary for 2 years, and there was a Saturday event that many of us got on buses and attended, which was being held at the New York Theological Seminary. The top scholars of the Christian discipline of liberation theology were present. And that's a theology based in the Gospels, especially the Gospel of Luke, that helps us learn to be on the side of the oppressed and to realize that God is especially there as well, inviting us into justice and social change. That day we heard from James Cone, the premier Black theologian all over the world. We heard from Beverly Harrison, who was a prominent feminist theologian. But the thing I will never, ever forget is hearing from Vine Deloria, a person I'd never heard from or heard about, who had written God is Red and published it 4 years earlier in 1973. Not only did he help this white Nebraska kid, still in my 20s, I could call myself a kid, who had absolutely no understanding of what had happened on our land, begin to understand, but he also really called us to become aware of the very different spiritual tradition or traditions that many Native people knew about and lived from. He helped us understand that for many of his ancestors, there was a continuous spiritual connection with the whole realm of the spirit that enabled them to survive. And nothing short would do the same in the future. I never forgot it. And now and again, I've gone a bit further in exploring some of what he meant. And thank goodness for the Keystone Pipeline struggle, where Native Americans really led the way. For the Line 3 struggle, where even more that was the case. For the fight against the Dakota Pipeline. And thank goodness the Keystone Pipeline struggle was successful. Applause. And our own Ken Winston had a lot to do with that, although he won't tell you that, but he did. So here we are today, grateful beyond belief for those traditions, but we also hear from science. I've been a student at the University of Nebraska at Lincoln for a long time, learning about climate. I got a geology degree before I retired from being a pastor. And the news isn't good. We all know that. Here in this part of the country, we probably don't even realize that 3 times this summer, Omaha had an extreme precipitation event. A lot of rain in less than a day. Those are still the fastest growing extreme precipitation events all over the planet. And they're hardest for our infrastructure, however much we try to improve it, to deal with. We were lucky. These events bypassed us. But, as we know, we're living in a time of moderate dryness. We're not calling it drought yet, but that's where we are right now here in Lincoln. I spent a lot of time studying the extreme weather event in the Pacific Northwest. At the end of June and the beginning of July, many of you may remember that they had temperatures way, way beyond anything anyone would have ever expected or that they had even experienced. They've had 3 to 4 other heat waves this summer that nowhere touched that extreme event. And so as I began to study it and preparing a possible abstract for the American Meteorological Association, I began to realize, maybe the climate is reorganizing so thoroughly, which it does. It's a complex adaptive system, and that's what they do, that we're going to be going beyond the usual regional climate structures. Now, here in Nebraska, we've always had a lot of variability in our climate. We live in that part of the world, the mid-latitudes, and especially close to the Great Plains. But in a part of the world where we would never expect such a heat wave, for that to develop there, it makes us wonder, what's going on with the climate system that we're just on the verge of being able to understand? I'm starting to study tipping elements and how they can become part of tipping cascades. In the seminar that I'm a part of this semester, we're looking to see how this happened over the last 30,000 years. And we can track that because of the sediments that are here in Nebraska that can tell us about that kind of climatic activity, perhaps better than many other parts of the world. But what happened then may not even be that helpful for what is happening now. I'm just at the beginning of trying to understand, as are all of us. More so than ever before, we need to open ourselves to listening to deeper spiritual tradition, deeper words, contacts with the spiritual traditions of our ancestors, walking far more closely with Native people as we learn about what they have known and what they too are trying to resurrect in these days. I am very proud to be a part of Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light. Tonight, I am giving a bigger donation than I ever have, because I firmly believe that this organization, unlike so many others, is committed to finding ways to really listen to those spiritual voices as deeply as we can, while at the same time keeping a strong, firm foot in climate science and whatever other sciences would help us. And from that base, we educate, we advocate, calling others to advocate with us. We stand in a kind of unique place. And I want us not just to survive, but to flourish. Join with me. Give from your heart. Help us to do our work as best we can. And thank God for the music that also sustains us and connects us ever more deeply to those streams that we cannot live without. Amen. Here comes Ken, our MC. Hey, Ken.
Yeah, Ken. All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Penny. Actually, we're going to have Ted get up. Ted's going to be next. And then, so you got time to get ready, Mike. Well, now it's my great pleasure to introduce Ted Hibbeler. He's a member of the Iron Shell family from the Rosebud Sioux Nation. He has decades of experience in education and currently serves as a Tribal Extension Educator with UNL. He works with Nebraska Tribal communities at all levels of education in the areas of food sustainability, economic development, career development, conservation, and leadership. But I think tonight he's going to talk mostly about how to connect the way that the Indigenous ways connect their spirituality connects directly with the earth, as opposed to some of the Western ways. And so I'd like to welcome Ted Hibbeler. Thank you.
Hanepi Washte Madako Yapi. Good evening, relatives. My name is Ted Hibbeler from the Mazapunkeshka Tioshpe of the Sichango Lakota Oyate. I'm from the Iron Shell family from the Burnt Thigh Nation up in Rosebud, South Dakota. Oh, a little louder? Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I want to wish everybody an early Indigenous Peoples Day, huh? Tomorrow, huh? Like my family members like to say, we are still here, Huh? We are still here. Right? It was cutting it pretty close in the turn of the century, around 1900. The first census, I think there are very few of us then at that time, but we're making a comeback, huh? We are making a comeback here in America. Our indigenous people here in Nebraska, I think there's 16,000, roughly about 16,000, and 65% of them live in the urban areas. Huh? That means 35% are in the rural areas or in the reservation areas. And I'm the Tribal Extension Educator for UNL, and my job is to go in and create relationships between the University of Nebraska and the indigenous communities here in Nebraska, both in the rural areas and the urban areas. UNL has not had a great reputation with the indigenous people here in Nebraska, okay? There's reasons for that, okay? As you know, at the beginning of this celebration this evening, there was a land acknowledgement statement that was read. And basically what that is all about is that long before Europeans were here, pre-contact, this land was traditionally the Umahas and the Pawnees and the Poncas, the Iowas, the Dakotas and Lakotas. We need to acknowledge that, huh? We need to understand that actually the University of Nebraska would not be here if it wasn't for the land that was given up by these indigenous nations 150 years ago. And it wasn't a voluntary thing, okay? The government took that land from them, and the federal government took that land from them and gave it to the state, and the state used that land to build the University of Nebraska. And the University of Nebraska is still making money off of that land. They have mineral rights off that land that they have money coming in on an annual basis. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but that's why we want to try and acknowledge, the traditional people here in this, their traditional homelands as well. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about indigenous worldviews, particularly my tribe, the Lakotas. Where I get this information from is from my grandfather, Charles Ironshell, and from my uncle, Albert Whitehat, okay? And want to kind of promote his book here. If you're looking at something authentic, coming directly from indigenous people, huh? This is called Zuya, Life's Journey, huh? Zuya, Z-U-Y-A, means journey. And Albert wrote this book a while back. He was our cultural and language instructor at Gleshka University. That's our tribal college up in Rosebud. And I think he was tired of non-natives writing about us. So he said, I'm just going to write about us. Okay. And so he put together this book, and he outlines all our traditional ceremonies. He talks about our creation story, okay? And that's where everything comes from. And I know with this organization, many of you are Christians, and I know you have your own creation story. And it might be Genesis from the Bible or wherever it comes from. And I'm not sure how much impact that creation story has on you. But with indigenous people, our creation story provides us with our worldview, okay? And so I understand that this organization is very much into sustainability, into the environment, and conservation. So with our worldview, with the Lakota worldview, it came from our creation story, and our creation story talks a little bit about Inya. Inya was the creator. Okay, long before everything was here, Inya was here. Does that sound familiar? So Inya started to create the universe, and each time he created something, or she created something, because we're really not sure if Inya is a female or a male. Okay, so we can give it a it pronoun sometimes. Hopefully it doesn't offend too many people. But Inya, during the creation, each time that Inya created something, he gave a little bit, or she gave a little bit more of herself to whatever it was that she created. And so when she created Maka, Maka is earth. Unchi Maka is grandmother earth. So when Inya created grandmother earth, she gave a little bit more, or he gave a little bit more of her or himself. And as all of creation was created, Inya was depleted, and what was left was just blown away into the wind. And so the way that we look at things, all living things, the natural world, the way that we look at things is that creator, Inya, is in all living things, right? It's in all living things the way that we look at it. So those little insects and those plants and those birds and those animals and then the human beings, we're all related through our creation story, because we all have that DNA, that creator's DNA in us. So out of that creation story, we have a phrase that we say after we pray or after we speak. It's Medakwe Oyasin, which means we are all related. We are all related. There's no differences between us. Okay, and that's not just with human beings. And I know that some religions are human-centric, In other words, they just talk about human beings. But with indigenous worldviews, it's all the natural world here, In other words, you have to understand that our relationship with the earth is through our creation story. We understand that. But we also understand that it's a reciprocal relationship. Okay, we cannot just keep taking from grandmother earth and not putting anything back. Okay, so that reciprocal relationship is there and has been there from the beginning of time with us as indigenous people. Okay, so we understand, and we still understand this, is that we have a gift economy, because the earth gives us whatever it is that we need to live, okay? Gives us our homes, our air, our water, our food, anything that we need in order to exist in this world. Unchimaka, grandmother earth, gives it to us, okay? So because of this relationship, this reciprocal relationship that we have with the natural world, then it's kind of a personification relationship where we give human qualities to unhuman things. Like I just said, that the earth, we call her grandmother, So that's that relationship that we have that is taught to us. It's in our DNA. Okay, so when we pray, we pray to the creator, Iyan. If it's Lakota, it depends on what tribe you come from, whatever that tribal word is for the creator. There is usually something at the end of that prayer that makes that connection, that relationship that we have with the natural world. And again, for Lakotas, it's Madakwe Oyasin, we are all related, So we say that after every time we speak, after we pray. So that relationship, I think, I was talking with Ken earlier, and we were talking about Western science. And, to me, Western science likes to categorize, classify, likes to almost disconnect itself from the natural world in order to study it, to observe it, okay? Where I call it indigenous science is that what we do is we've been here a long time, just like your ancestors have, but in this land, we observe first and foremost. We've been observing this land and all the living things for thousands of years here, right here in Nebraska, okay? Long before pre-contact. Our indigenous science was we were observing everything, and then what we did was from those observations, we learned from those observations. It could be, whatever the medicinal plant was, or what the particular animal, the behavior of a particular animal, and so forth and so on. But what we did was we learned from those observations, and what we did was we interacted with the natural world. We didn't just observe it and then write about it and classify it and so forth and so on. But what we did is we interacted with it. It taught us how to interact with the natural world. So that's the indigenous science that we still observe today. So that's kind of a distinction between the worldviews, is that relationship that we have that has been given to us from our creation story. Here's another book. It's called Braiding Sweetgrass. I don't know if you've had a chance to read this or not. Yeah. If you get a chance to read Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, she's a Potawatomi botanist. Believe that, huh? Potawatomi botanist. And so she writes about, she's a trained botanist, so she writes about the Western scientific observation of plants and animals in the earth. But she also is indigenous, so she also brings in the indigenous worldviews as well on the relationship that we have and so forth and so on. And she talks about a gift economy that the earth gives us. Like I said earlier, the earth gives us everything that we need. And so she also talks about the difference between a gift economy and a commodity economy. And when she talks about commodity economy, she talks about that the commodity economy, there's a price for everything. You now have to buy water, right? We never used to be. We are just kind of, we're not sure why that is, but it seems like the non-indigenous economy is all about money, right? It's about how much money can we get for whatever it is that we can exploit, whatever it is, okay? And so she talks a little bit about how that's kind of destroying this earth right now, okay? Is that commodity economy. And because of what's going on with the climate and so forth and so on, the environment, as far as the fires, the pollution, COVID, all of those things that are going on right now, she's talking a little bit about how that reciprocal relationship isn't there between humans and the natural world. So it's right now, she's saying it's a one-way street in that we're just taking from the earth and not giving anything back. And when we're taking from the earth, we're trying to get as much money from whatever it is that we take so that we can provide for our families and our communities and so forth and so on. So she talks a little bit about how maybe what we should be doing is looking at that commodity economy and maybe looking at the indigenous worldview as far as a gift economy and having that reciprocal relationship with the earth, where we're understanding that if we're clear cutting trees and forests, then we're killing ourselves, aren't we? Because these the trees and the plants provide us with our oxygen. They actually absorb carbon. And so the more trees and plants that we can cover this earth with, then the healthier air that we're going to have to breathe. And so it's kind of like, that reciprocal relationship has to be there in order for us to continue to live in a healthy manner. So I just kind of wanted to bring a couple of those things forward. I also wanted to talk a little bit about something that my office is doing at the University of Nebraska. I'm with the Tribal Extension Office on East Campus. And so we're starting an Indigenous food sovereignty program on East Campus. We've gotten a little piece of land on East Campus on 33rd and Holdridge. And we are partnering, my office is partnering with horticulturalists, agronomists, entomologists, and a lot of other just. And so what we're going to do is we're also going to bring in some Indigenous elders. I was just talking with this lady over here earlier on, and they're doing the same thing also with the Lincoln Public Schools. So, I imagine a lot of you guys are gardeners, right? And so, that's what we're talking about, is that reciprocal relationship. In other words, I was told when I took this job that Nebraska imports 90% of its food. That's amazing here in Nebraska because we're supposed to be an agricultural state, aren't we? But what we do is we export. I'm talking about the commodity economy now, right? We export the things that we grow here, all right? Corn, our feed corn, and our soybeans, and so forth and so on. So, I think COVID kind of taught us last year that, oh, wait a minute, we're kind of running out of food here. Why is that? Well, because we couldn't get the food from the other states, right? Yeah. And so, we should have, I think we are. We're learning the lesson that maybe instead of these beautiful lawns, that maybe we should start planting some tomatoes and we're planting some other vegetables, huh? Yeah. So, we're always looking at indigenous sustainability, indigenous food sovereignty, and we are now returning back to our traditional plants. And so we have relationships with the Umaha tribe up in Macy, where we're working with them on a couple of food sustainability projects up there. Like I said, we're looking at creating a Indigenous food sovereignty program on the East Campus at the University of Nebraska. We're looking at teaching our young Indigenous students how to grow their own food and provide for their families and communities. And I think that's true for all of us, right? I think, we all need to start looking at how to grow our own food and then how to share that food, right? And that's important. And what we're talking about is just food sustainability. And I think that's kind of where we're all heading. And I think with this organization, I kind of did some research. I was talking with Ken, and you guys are really involved with the environment and sustainability. And I think what we need to do is we need to kind of talk to the people that lead us here in Nebraska and kind of maybe do some lobbying on behalf of food sustainability and kind of talk to them a little bit. And we through UNL, we were able to lobby and get the first farm to school bill passed this last year. Um, and so that's the other thing is, schools are the largest restaurants in the United States, right? They provide, they serve the most food of any restaurants in the United States. So why not have our Nebraska farmers provide fresh food to the students and then teach these students how to grow their own food? And that's kind of what we're doing up in the Macy, up with the Omaha Nation Public Schools. So, that's something that we're doing, and I'll just kind of close from there. And I want to thank Ken for inviting me here, and you guys take care. Madako Eoyasin. I hope.
Thank you, Ted. I feel like I should call you Brother Ted. You're speaking our language. Speaking our language. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, and look forward to working with you on these exciting projects. Once again, just wanted to remind folks that this is a fundraising event, and if you want to make a contribution, Sarah's sitting over there, and so feel free to make a contribution there. And thanks so much to Ted. Thank you to all of you for coming here tonight. And we have some plants to give away. I guess at this point, we aren't necessarily tying them to a contribution, but if you want to make a contribution, that's great. But now we have an opportunity for some more wonderful music. A terrific group of musicians from right here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And Mike has been handling the video stuff all night, and he and Carrie are getting ready to perform for us, along with Brian McGovern. You about ready to go, or should I talk some more?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll just talk just a little bit more. We do have some handouts if you want to read some things about what Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light's about. If we run out of handouts, I can give you a card, and you can get in touch with me, and I can tell you about, be glad to provide you with more information about our activities. There's also food over there. There's bison pot roast and ratatouille, and some homemade bread. So there's terrific food here and drinks available at the bar. So, and once again, thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks for the wonderful music. We still have the bottle tops, and Jack Rodenburg are still going to perform yet tonight. And let me once again give a thank you to our sponsors, Reverend Penny Greer, Rich Lombardi, Lowell and Senator Patty Pansy Brooks, Dan Deffenbaugh, Mark Fates, Peter Mullen, Christine Palmer, Dan Parsons, Rich and Susan Rodenburg. So thanks to everybody who's been a sponsor tonight, and thank you to all of you for coming out. And so am I about ready to be done droning on and on?
We're about ready.
So well, and I'm so thrilled at the music we have that we've been able to share so far, and that we're going to be able to hear again in just a little bit. I mean, really outstanding musicians that we have here in Lincoln, and we're so blessed and so fortunate to have them share their talents with us tonight. So, so I'm going to talk just a little bit more before the bottle tops get ready to start. And I also want to recognize Mike and Red Rebel Productions.
Thank you, Ken.
For providing the video tonight. So the
My pleasure.
So folks can.
We're streaming live to the world, ladies and gentlemen, international.
Oh, by the way, if you're at home and you want to make a contribution, you can go to nebraskaipl.org and make a contribution. So, and hopefully you're enjoying this from wherever you are, and look forward to everything that we've shared so far tonight. So, all right, I'm gonna stop talking, and you can visit with each other for a while. But thanks everybody for coming out tonight, and stay tuned. More great music. Check, check, check. 1, 2. There it is.
Guess we're on. Good evening, everybody. How you doing tonight? All right, feel free to dance a little bit. We're the Bottle Tops. We love Ken Winston. We love Nebraska Interfaith Power and Light, too. Wake up, my friend. What more can I say? Oh, now last night it faded into day. If we linger around here too long, we'll be washed down the street. Oh, let's find a ticket out of town, a rob I'll steal our feet. Got to help me find a potion, help me find my hat. What's your name again, son? Oh, I'm never good at that. When the hillside meets the willow, the border lay split. Oh, meet there at sundown, kid. I got a bottle we can hit. Follow me to Hollow, follow me, my friend. Oh, follow me to the treasure, we'll share it in the air. Treasure is my home, my family, my friend. Yes, you gotta promise me you'll watch me when I slip. Habit is to drink and fall with the dagger on my head. You asked me for my necklace, I wear upon my neck. Oh, I took it from my boy's casket. Oh, I loved him the best. We ran a day away from love into my darkest day. I'm still dreaming, I'm still feeling. That feeling never goes away. Follow me to Hollow, follow me, my friend. Follow me to the treasure, we'll share it in the air. Treasure is my home, my family, my friend. Oh, you gotta promise me you'll watch me when I slip. My habit is to drink and fall with the dagger on my head. Now you gotta promise me you'll watch me when I slip. My habit is to drink and fall with the dagger on my head. Ooh-ah. All right now. Thank you, Mr. Wayne Bowles. How you doing, Wayne Bowles? Good to see you, my friend. We all grew up on little Mario Brothers. This is Brian McGovern on the mandolin. Yeah. My lovely wife Carrie here tonight. Yeah. KZUM. She runs KZUM radio station. Anybody like KZUM? Yeah. Jack Rodenburg's got a show on KZUM. Is there anybody else here that's got a show on KZUM? I don't want to leave anybody out. They do a lot for the Indigenous people. Last night I worked with the Nebraskans for Peace for a live stream, and we honored Leo Yankton. Wonderful, wonderful local Indigenous soul who's an incredible person. He did so much for the community, and we will miss him greatly. Let's do a little bit.
Well, my baby went out just to find a man. He said, no more stuff, do you understand? If you sell up stuff, I'm gonna find out soon. I'm gonna blow your head up to the moon. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You're a bad, bad man that would die for nothing. Well, you flew into town like a tumbleweed, like a dry fish flopping on a sack of weeds. I've got your number and my eyes down, and I'm gonna wave that flag if you do it again. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You're a bad, bad man that would die for nothing. People gonna talk 'cause they know your style. Don't matter if it's clean or it's been a while. Don't blame it on the church 'cause you're working hard. You'll be as high as a statue sleeping in the yard. High as a statue, you're a bad man. When I found your book with your top 5, I said, man, you're lucky just to be alive. You wear your heart written in your sleeve and take a good man's wallet, then you slip and leave. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. You're a bad, bad man that would die for nothing. People gonna talk 'cause they know your style. Don't matter if it's clean or it's been a while. Don't blame it on the church 'cause you're working hard. You'll be as high as a statue sleeping in the yard. High as a statue, you're a bad man. You're a bad, bad man that would die for nothing. I always run out of breath at the end of that one.
That's a new song, new Bottle Top song. Hoping to put a record out soon. We were so close, and then the pandemic hit, so we're got some stuff in the works. It feels good. You're writing music. Speaking of, I got a little side project called the Riverhawks. I've got a single coming out on the 29th. I'm gonna try to keep that. I'm not gonna use this as a platform to promote my music. But I'm gonna say it anyway. All right. We're gonna play a bluegrass song for you. Oh, we got a song for that. We're gonna sing a song for that. Oh, look at the sunset, everybody. Take a second. Take a second.
Annie. We'll sing a song for it. You're right. Wayne.
Annie just whispered cotton candy clouds to me. That's my cotton candy clouds. Enjoy the sunset to this song, y'all. We were born before the wind, oh, so younger than the sun. The bonnie boat was worn down as we sailed into the misty. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and your spirit fly now as we sail into the misty. When that foghorn blows, you know I'll be coming home. It's when that foghorn blows, wanna hear it. Don't have to fear it now. I wanna rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. Magnificently we flow as we sail into the misty. Yes, when that foghorn whistle blows now, oh, you know I'll be coming home. Yes, when that foghorn blows, wanna hear it. Don't have to fear it now. I wanna rock your gypsy soul. It's just like way back in the days of old. Magnificently we flow as we sail into the misty. Yeah, na 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 na. Yeah, magnificently we flow as we sail into the misty. Magnificently we flow as we sail into the misty. Alrighty. Oh, that sunset, how's it looking out there? All right. That's a good sunset song. Man. It really is. All right. One more time for the Wildwoods. We haven't played with the Wildwoods in a long, long time. Man almighty, you guys are gorgeous, gorgeous people. Beautiful music.
And you sound good too.
Real quick story, I'll never forget
Not
the first
just the
time.
beauty.
The first time I saw the Wildwoods was right over here at Roots Music. And I think they were 14 years old. My son's age right over here. He's running the show. But yeah. They're 15, folks. Man, they've come a long way.
If you need a ride home, we got you.
Yeah, we got you. You guys have come so far. I love it. I love your music. It's fantastic. This is an honor to be playing with Jack Rodenburg and being here with Ken and the whole organization. Thanks for having us. We're going to move the show along. We just got one or two more songs and then we'll be done, okay? So we can move it along. Let's do a
Usually do it. Just so you know.
You're right. Okay, we're going to try this other new one we got going on here. Well, spin old black record so I can see the light. Walking through the emeralds in the deepness of the night. Like a German, I march through the city in pain to catch my way home on the West Lincoln train. Way up on top of the bricks and the mud, well, I see my way down to the streets filled with blood. As God as my witness, he lowers his face, takes out a smoke from his mystery case. We got high on the way down. We didn't know any better than we still don't know now. Oh, spin on black record so I can see the light. I see you around town from time to time, and I know you're not living right, living right. Oh, spin on black record. Oh, spin on black record. Oh, spin on black record so I can see the light. Way up on top, where the bell tolls, oh, the people they don't work, for it strengthens all their souls. I'll give you $1, kid, just to see what you do. Let's make our voices shine until the wicked is through. We got high on the way down. We didn't know any better than we still don't know now. Oh, spin on that record so I can see the light. I see you around town from time to time, and I know you're not living right, living right. Oh, spin on that record. Oh, spin on that record. Oh, spin on black record so I can see the light. Oh, spin on black record so I can see the light. Oh, spin on black record so I can see the, everybody, Thanks for the battle tops. We'll see you next time. We'll be around town. Thank you, Ken.
to Bottle Tops. Aren't they awesome? Amazing. And thanks to the Wildwoods for opening things up tonight. And thank you to all of you for coming out. This has really been a great evening. But we're not done. We still have Jack Rodenburg. Jack's going to rock the house here for a few tunes. And also, I know Ted Hibbeler's left, but I thought he had an amazing presentation about the Indigenous way of looking at the world, and I think that's really good stuff. So, and thanks to all of you for being here, and I know Jack's gonna rock us out here shortly. So,
Yeah.
All right.
This guy. Stuff.
Check. Check. 1, 2. Yeah. How y'all doing today? It's good to be here. I'm so excited and honored to be here at the Wildwoods and the Bottle Tops and Interfaith Power and Light. This is such a great cause. I'm going to keep things brief, but I want maximum participation, okay? So everyone give me a big yawn. Ready? Big theatrical yawn. Starting at the very top.
Now reverse.
Nice. So you've proven you all have voices, okay? So if I see you not singing, I'm going to remind you of that moment. All right. This is a tune that I've never played live before, but it's always been one of my very favorites, just because it's like word for word, so beautiful, very profound, and someday I want to grow up to be the nature boy. There was a boy, a very strange enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eyes, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he came my way. And though we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing that you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Though we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing that you'll ever learn is just to love turn. Thanks, y'all. Nice clapping. Y'all sounded great. Okay, so I know y'all know this song. I'd love to hear you sing along. I know Brian's shaking his head. He's like, I don't know it. Brian, you've got the deepest songbook of anyone here, I bet. All right. Wise men say. I want to hear y'all sing along, okay? I'm going to start it over because I didn't hear anyone join me. You know the first 3 words now. Wise men say. Ready? Wise men say. Only fools rush in. But I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea. Sing it, Ken. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea. Darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Take my hand. Take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. For I can't help falling in love with you. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Y'all sound so good. Yeah, I could hear all y'all. That was so fantastic. Okay, I got 2 more for you. This one, I hope you can sing along. It's a little less traditional, but it is a song from one of my favorite movies of all time. And Twinkle, 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 Little Star. And it reminds me of, I don't know if Ted is still here, but, and I'm going to mispronounce this, but he said, Madakawe U Watson, we are all related. And this song really just, I was going to go on a little spiel about what he said exactly. So just remember what Ted said, because I just can't agree more. And the part that I have been really, really trying to communicate with people for the last 3 years is, why do we need grass lawns? I don't know. Maybe we could grow tomatoes or chives. Chives look like grass. So if you just like the look, just grow some chives. Basil, mint, anything else, takes like 0 water. Anyways, Ted said it best. We are all related, and it doesn't just mean people. From the day we arrived on this planet, if you know it, sing along, and blinking stepped into the sun. There's more to see than can ever be seen, and more to do than can ever be done. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. With the sun rolling high on a sapphire sky, keeps great and small on the endless round. It's the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding, in the circle of life. Join me on any note you can find. Ready? It's the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding, in the circle of life. One more time on those ahs, ready? And y'all sound awesome. Brian, I saw you up there holding up your beer. That was great. That was great. Yeah. Notice I don't do the intro because I'm not vocally qualified. As No, it's just. Okay. All right. I've got one more song, and then we're gonna bring some people back up and do a jam at the end, right? If we have time. I don't know what time it is. Oh, it's. Okay. I'm just gonna get going with the first song. Can you figure that out? I did this song. All right. I'm just gonna continue. Ken's gonna figure it out. Give it up one more time for Ken, everybody. If you love Ken and you love the climate, please, we got a station over there that will accept donations, right? Accept donations, check, cash, card, I'm assuming. Nice. PayPal, Venmo? No. OnlyFans? No, okay. We didn't do it. Ken, you can head that up, Ken. I'd sign up. Okay. This one I did this May. And I have a radio show on KZUM, which is awesome. And I love KZUM so much. Thanks, man. And each week I do a theme, and I've been doing a theme for this set list. Can anyone guess the theme that has brought all the songs together? And no, it's not piano. No, it's not singing. Think. Hey, there we go. Give it up for Papa Dad. All the songs have had something to do with Earth, Mother Nature. 100 trillion, Dad. Give it up for Dad. Donate them. Donate those points. All right, here we go. And I know y'all know this song, so sing along if you feel like getting up, wiggling around, doing some clapping on the 2s and 4s. That'd be great. I'll help you with that. All right. Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him drink his wine. Everyone up and dancing, I know y'all want to. Mighty fine wine. Joy to the world. Oh, you sound good. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. I said joy to you and me. All right, I'm not going to start the second verse until I see everyone in here standing up and dancing. There we go, Dad. Yeah, let's go. That means you, Chloe. Come on. Lauren, what are you doing? All right, ready? This verse is my favorite because I really agree with the politics of this situation. Ready? If I was the king of the world, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd throw away the cars and the bars and wars and make sweet music with you. I said I'd make sweet music with you. Joy to the world. Let's hear you sing it. Come on now. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. I said joy to you and me. Acapella, ready? Here we go. Joy to the world. Come on, really sing it. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. I said joy to you and me. One more time. I said joy to the world. All the boys and girls now. Joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. All sound amazing. Keep clapping for Ken Winston, the man of the hour. Interfaith Power and Light.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jack. Thanks to the Wildwoods. Thanks to the Bottle Tops. Thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks to the Hub Cafe for providing space and great food. And thanks to all of you. So peace and good vibes and look forward to seeing you next time. We'll have another event coming up. Maybe in December we'll have some. It'll probably have to be inside, but we'll make it work. So anyway, thanks to everybody. Peace, blessings, grooviness. So, good night, everybody.
Peace, love, blessings, grooviness. That's a great. Write that down. Get a tattoo of that. That's you.
And if you're still listening, give it up for the Hub Cafe. They are hosting us very generously. We appreciate that.